What's up, my beautiful viewers? Today we're going to be doing a video about how I beat a national master. If you don't know, there are title players in chess, and they are incredibly difficult to beat unless you have sharp positional knowledge and tactical knowledge as well. And I beat a national master. Yeah, we're going to be covering the game. Uh, E4, E5, and then he resorted into like a bishop's opening. I played D5, and then we end up getting a trade in the center. He developed his pieces, and he castled. Now, here he kicked out my bishop. I moved back, and then he sort of made a battery consisting of attacking my knight. I defended with bishop e6, and he sort of try to target the bishop and hoping to double my pawns and exploit him in the future. And then I played queen d6, develop queen d6, developing my queen. And after the trade, he played a4, trying to trap my bishop. I played a6. He still attacked, and I moved back. Now he developed his knight, and I resorted to targeting the d3 weakness here. He played knight e4, re-attacking my queen because the pawn is worth less than the queen, so I cannot take because I'll lose my queen. I just moved back, and then he resorted to snap my knight, which was guarding the e6 square. So after takes, he can take it the e6 pawn with check since it's not guarded anymore. I moved my king, and then he resorted to kick out my rook. However, I wasn't going to retreat back so easily as I played rook f3, hitting the d3 weakness. He attacked my rook, missing the fact that the pawn is there. However, I don't think it was that big of a deal for him. Now he attacked my rook, I defended, and he traded, and then he offered another rook trade. And after I took again, um, he took back with the queen, which I wasn't expecting, but I guess it's better than taking back with the bishop. Um, I moved my queen out of the way, eyeing the f2 square. Uh, he ignored it and instead gone for my pawns. I pushed my pawn to b6, attacking the a5 pawn. Uh, he played bishop b7, hitting my knight as well as the pawn, and then I moved back. And you might notice that he had missed the opportunity to take there for some reason, as I would take his pawn back. And he wanted to sort of keep the tension of the position. Now, I moved back to b8, um, guarding the a6 pawn. And you might notice that he can go to d8. However, I just blocked with the queen, and he doesn't have much there. So he moved his knight. I went back, also protecting the e5 pawn, and then he played queen d5, eyeing the f7 square for any discovered checks on knight to f7, for example. The king could go to g8, and then the knight could go to d6, discover checking and hitting the e8 queen. So I played h6 so that I could have an escape square on h7 after he checked, and then he checked again, which was a um, which was a good move because it's a check. It's hitting my d5 pawn, and he's planning to win it. I blocked, and he took with the knight, and I played knight d7, thinking that there was a pin here. In fact, there isn't because the bishop is guarding here. So he could just take, and taking with the queen would be a blunder since it would be a trade, and then he would eventually end up winning a knight. Now, I took back the knight, and then he played bishop c6, attacking my queen. I moved my queen away, and then he played h4, probably planning to play h5. However, when I took, and he took, and I played queen f6, he didn't end up playing h5, and instead he played queen f3, trying to trade into a winning endgame. And I did trade because I didn't want his queen to attack me. So I end up bringing my king, and while he takes all the pawns, however, I'm planning to put all my remaining pawns on the dark squares so that his light square bishop cannot attack him. So he develops his king as well, and then he checks me, and then he ends up pushing the a6 pawn, or pushing the a5 pawn into a6. But my bishop was blocking the pawn from promoting. Sorry. And it's eyeing the f2 pawn still. And so I brought my king, I shuffled my king, and then I end up trading for some reason. Although I could have probably played g4, but it really doesn't matter at this point because either way I'm losing. I bring my king back in order to stop the advancement of this pawn, and then I moved my bishop back and forth because I was in a time scramble. As you can see here, he had like 9 seconds left, and I had like 6 seconds left. And sorry. So I moved my bishop back, and then I brought my king. I shuffled my king back and forth. Eventually, I did the horrible decision to put my king in the back rank because it doesn't do anything, and it could make my king vulnerable to checks after promotion. So he moved his king. I played f5, and I got back and forth with my king. I moved my bishop because it's the only move that I can do. And then he moved his bishop to e8. I moved it back. I didn't really have anything else, and yeah, I won because he ran out of time. So yeah, that was a interesting. Well, yeah, it was an interesting game, and it was a very surprising one because I didn't expect to win at all. I just wanted a challenge, and I ended up winning uh, uh, on time because of holding on in the position and him not countering, him not punishing my weaknesses. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe for better content. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.